It was just past midnight at the General Hospital and Nurse Sarah was almost dozing off at the reception desk, struggling to keep her eyes open when she heard the automatic doors slide open. She looked up and was startled to see a young lady staggering into the lobby, clutching her stomach and squeezing her face in fear. Daniela's eyes widened. She jumped to her feet and rushed towards her. "Please," the young lady breathed as she leaned heavily against the wall. "Help me." Daniela rushed forward, gently guiding her to a chair. "Miss, are you all right? What happened?" The lady tried to catch her breath. "Please, get the doctor," she managed to say, as her voice trembled. "It is better seen than explained." Sarah exchanged a worried glance with another nurse who had just come over after hearing the commotion. Without wasting a moment, she picked up the phone and called Dr. Elizabeth, the doctor on duty that night. Dr. Elizabeth was in her office, going through some patient's file when the call came in. She had always been calm under pressure, known for her steady hands and clear mind, even in emergencies. But there was something in Daniela's voice that hinted at urgency, and it made Dr. Elizabeth's heart race. "A patient just came in. She looked very distressed. She is insisting you come immediately," Daniela said. Dr. Elizabeth stood up, grabbed her stethoscope and slipped it around her neck. "I'll be right there." Moments later, Dr. Elizabeth entered the lobby and she saw the young lady who was now seated with her hands on her head, looking exhausted and afraid. Dr. Elizabeth approached her. "Hello, I'm Dr. Elizabeth. Can you tell me what happened?" The lady looked up helplessly. "Please, I can't explain it. You just need to see it first," she whispered. "Please, hurry." Dr. Elizabeth could see the terror in her eyes. She nodded quickly, helping the young lady to stand up. "All right, let's just get you to the examination room." In the examination room, Dr. Elizabeth gently guided the woman to lie down on the examination table. She noticed the lady was trembling as her fingers gripped the edge of the table so tightly that her knuckles turned white. "Take a deep breath," Dr. Elizabeth said softly. "Can you tell me your name?" "Mary, my name is Mary," the lady said. Dr. Elizabeth nodded, trying to ease her anxiety. "Mary, I'm going to do a quick examination to understand what is causing you so much pain. Can you tell me where it hurts?" Mary's face shifted downward and she hesitated before finally gesturing towards her lower abdomen. "It is down there," she mumbled with embarrassment and fear. Dr. Eunice's expression remained calm and gentle as she prepared to begin the examination. But as Mary opened her legs, Dr. Eunice stepped back horrified. She had not expected what she saw and so was not prepared for it. "Oh my God!" she murmured, unable to believe what she was seeing. There were tiny white maggots squirming and writhing within Mary's most sensitive area. A sight so disgusting and unnatural that Dr. Elizabeth felt a chill crawl down her spine. Mary's face squeezed as she began to sob, grabbing the doctor's hand. "Please, doctor, help me. I don't know what is happening. I don't want to die." Dr. Elizabeth took a deep breath, forcing herself to regain her composure. She had seen countless cases of infections and illnesses, but this was unlike anything she had encountered. "Mary, I am going to do everything I can to help, but I need you to be stronger, right?" Mary nodded through her tears and Dr. Elizabeth set to work. She carefully administered an injection to help ease Mary's pain and then she began to clean the affected area. As she worked, questions filled her mind, questions that had no immediate answers. Once Dr. Elizabeth had done what she could to stabilize Mary, she sat down across from her, trying to piece together what she had just witnessed. "Mary, this is a very unusual condition," she began carefully. "I have given you something to help manage the pain. And I have cleaned the area, but I need to know more about your medical history. When did you first notice anything unusual?" Mary wiped her tears away, trying to gather herself. "It started about 10 days ago. I noticed a strange smell and I felt uncomfortable. I tried cleaning myself but it did not help. The maggots just kept increasing even after cleaning. It just got worse. Dr. Elizabeth listened, nodding as her mind raced with possibilities. Dr. Elizabeth then asked with a low voice, "Are you sexually active?" Mary paused for a while before nodding. Dr. Elizabeth then asked, "I need to know when last you met with a man. Maybe it could help." Mary was embarrassed, but then she replied, "Well, I was with someone, my boyfriend Destiny. I met Destiny last year. We were both struggling. He came from a background like mine. Poor but with dreams of something more. We had so much in common, and for a long time, I felt like he was the one person who truly understood what I was going through." Dr. Elizabeth nodded, encouraging her to continue. "And things changed?" Mary continued, "Yes, about 3 months ago. William started spending time with some new friends. At first, I was happy for him. They were wealthy, successful, people with power, or at least that was how they appeared. But something about them did not feel right." "What do you mean?" Dr. Elizabeth asked as her curiosity piqued. Mary's voice grew softer. "There was one night I remember he came back home. Late, acting strange, his eyes looked different, cold, almost as if he was someone else. He spoke about wanting to escape poverty, saying he was tired of waiting endlessly. He said he would do whatever it took to be rich." "Did he tell you what that whatever it took might be?" Dr. Elizabeth asked gently. Mary shook her head. "No, he was vague, but I could see it in his eyes. He was serious. He wouldn't listen when I asked him to be careful and to remember that not everything that glitters is gold." Dr. Elizabeth nodded suspiciously. "Mary, I know this might sound unusual, but I think it is possible that Destiny may have become involved in something dangerous, something that has affected you as well. I want to help you find answers, and there is one way we might do that." Mary looked up curiously. "What do you mean?" Dr. Elizabeth took a deep breath. "I think we should try to contact Destiny. I want you to call him, and while we speak, I want you to pretend that everything is fine. Keep him calm, make him feel comfortable, and see if we can get him to review anything that might help us understand what is happening to you. It could be a vital clue, but if you notice that he's pretending, then try to provoke him. Push him to be angry and say things out of anger, whichever one works." Mary took a deep breath and then nodded. "Right. I'll try. I'll do whatever it takes." Dr. Elizabeth gave her a small recorder, telling her to keep it close to her. They dialed Destiny number and Mary held the phone to her ear, forcing herself to remain calm as the line rang. After several rings, Destiny's voice came through the line, casual and unbothered. "Hi Destiny. I have not been feeling well lately. I just wanted to check in with you. You are not feeling fine?" he asked with a cool tone. "What do you mean?" Mary blinked, trying to keep her voice casual. "It is hard to explain. I have been experiencing some things, some strange things. I thought maybe you would know something about it." There was a pause on the other end and Mary grew increasingly nervous before Destiny laughed a hollow sound. "Mary, don't be ridiculous. If you're feeling sick, then you should just rest." But Mary pushed on, carefully maintaining her tone. "But Destiny, this thing started after we were together last week. I don't understand it and I thought maybe you would know." "Mary," he interrupted her sharply with a cold voice. "You are asking too many questions." Mary felt her heart sink. She could hear the indifference in his voice, the lack of empathy for her suffering. It was obvious that something in him had changed. "Destiny, if there is anything you are not telling me, please, I need to know," she pleaded. Finally, he let out a frustrated sigh. "Fine, you want the clothes? I was tired of leaving like a nobody, Mary. I wanted more. I needed a way out and you just happened to be in the right place at the right time." Mary's breath caught in her throat. Her worst fears have been confirmed. What did you do to me, Destiny? A chuckle echoed through the phone, very cold and heartless. Nothing personal, Mary. Let's just say you were useful. Some of us want more from life, so you were my sacrifice. Mary's hands shook as she held the phone. She had thought she knew him, she had trusted him with her life, and now he had turned her into a pawn in his twisted game for wealth. Dr. Elizabeth was now convinced that Mary's affliction was beyond the realm of physical medicine. She then decided to take Mary to someone who could help her understand and hopefully reverse the dark forces that had entangled her. She took Mary to her church to meet her pastor, Pastor Elijah. As Mary recounted her ordeal, Pastor Elijah listened attentively, nodding as she spoke. Mary, you are the victim of a ritual. What you are experiencing is the result of a dark spiritual exchange, something Destiny initiated without your knowledge. You have only 5 days to live because the sacrifice has been successful. But take heart, there is a way to break this. Mary's eyes filled with tears. Please, Pastor, I will do anything. I just want to be free of this course. Pastor Elijah nodded. There is hope, Mary. God's power can overcome any darkness. I want you to begin by praying the Psalms from now on, especially at midnight, when the power of prayer is strongest. Start with Psalms 35, Psalms 91 and Psalms 109. They are prayers of protection and deliverance. He then prayed for her before they returned to the hospital. That night, Mary sat on the floor of her hospital room with a Bible on her lap. She opened Psalm 35 and started to pray with the words, "Contend, Lord, with those who contend with me. Fight against those who fight against me." The words echoed through the quiet room, filling the air with a strange peaceful energy. She continued with Psalm 91, filling a warmth envelope her as she spoke the words of protection and faith. Miraculously, days later, Mary's condition began to improve, the maggots disappeared and the pain lessened. Dr. Elizabeth and Pastor Elijah were astonished by the change, knowing that something supernatural had taken place when she became stronger. Mary, accompanied with Dr. Elizabeth, went to the police with the recording of Destiny confession. They filed a report and the authorities immediately launched an investigation. When they arrived at Destiny's apartment, they found an eerie scene. Destiny had lost his mind. He was sitting outside, looking disoriented, with tattered clothes, blabbing incoherently. It was as if the darkness he had unleashed had turned back on him, consuming him from within. The officers quickly restrained him and took him away. Thanks for watching. Do not forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on your notification to be notified when we post new videos.